Hi, today I'm going to be talking about amazing putty and how you can use it in your work. When you want to buy something like this, it comes in two containers, a white and a yellow, and you have to mix the two together to be able to make your mold, which will look like this. Another example would be these right here. And when you want to make a mold from the putty, it's because you want to make a mold of something hard like this. Show you a couple other examples. Like maybe you like this earring and you would maybe like to make it in clay. You would make a mold of it. And it comes with instructions on how to use it, and you can actually stick this type of mold putty in the oven, and it will actually tell you what temperature to cook it, what temperature to use it at. You don't need an oven to make the mold putty. And you can find this, I believe, you can look on Amazon. If you are able to go to a craft store, look over in their polymer clay area where they keep clays, you might be able to find this. And I go through Michael's and to get this stuff, and I use a discount card or coupon when buying it because it's $20. With a coupon, I usually can get it for $10. This stuff's kind of on the expensive side. So I'm going to show you how it works. What you want to do is take the object you're going to make a mold of, which I have this earring here that I want to make a mold of. Take a little bit of the grayish white clay, and when you get this, I've been using it for a while, you get about this much clay up there. It's not a full bottle when you get it. And what you want to do is you want to get enough clay that's about the right size of the object you're going to be making a mold of. Once these two are put together, you have about 1 to 2 minutes of actual work time before it starts to get hard. And within 15 minutes it's ready to go, and you can actually use it as a mold. On here I actually set up one that's already done because I'm not going to take 15 minutes to wait for it to dry. So this one is a little too small, so I'm going to add just a little bit more to it so that the balls are both about the same size. Now I can mess around with this as much as I want because they're not together. Then when you put them together, you're just going to mix them. And what you want to do is just get a nice even yellow color, because right now you can see that there's striping. You want to make sure it has it's fully mixed in. And it doesn't really take too long to mix it either. Right now I have no striping, so I'm good. So I have a few minutes to work with it. And then I just kind of press down. Now I know some people like to sell their own molds, and you can make these look prettier. Right now I'm just using this for myself, so it doesn't really matter. Some people will use a cookie cutter to get that perfectly roundness to it, but I'm just going to use this. I'm using it for myself, not for sale. So I put it onto the thing, it's going to fit, and what you do is you gently kind of push down with your finger. You don't have to apply too much pressure, just enough to push it into the clay. And I like to kind of move it around a little bit to make sure that it gets all sides. And really that's all you do. And then you wait for it. In about 15 minutes it's going to be ready, flexible, all that stuff. Sometimes even sooner than 15 minutes. So, to show you, I took this this earring. I really liked it. It has a lot of detail, and this polymer mold putty is really good about catching detail. Here's one I actually pulled out so you can see how it captured the same amount of detail on there, so you can see that. Now you can see that there's a little edge here. I'm going to show you how to take it out of the mold. What you want to do is that you have it in the mold, you pressed it in there, and you kind of pull towards yourself to get rid of that edge. And you have to just very gently pull towards yourself with your finger and kind of rotate. And so then you have it there, and then you just kind of bend And this stuff stays flexible, and you'll be able to keep this stuff for a long time. Just keep it in a nice, flat, dry, room temperature area, and you'll be able to use it. It just depends how long this stuff will last, depends on what you're actually using it for. I use resin in this, this stuff, and it doesn't actually burn through it. So you just have to experiment. And then bring it out. And see, I still have a little bit there, but I can go in with a little tool and, you know, fix it, you know, to what I need to do. But that does help cut down on the edge, and it does bring it out with a lot of detail. And then that way you can do these in any color you want. And another thing I'd like to suggest is if you have a lot of things you want to make a mold of. This is only one bag of like 10 other bags I have laying around the house that I want to make molds of. This stuff gets very expensive when you want to make that many molds. I mean, if you consider, I could probably maybe, depending on their size, I might be able to get maybe 10, 15. It even tells you, like on the box here, on the back, you can see this little picture here. It tells you that's how much putty you have to be able to make something. So I think there's about probably 20, 22 pieces maybe there. I could do, well, there's more than 22 pieces here. So to keep prices down, I recently found out that I can use this stuff. It's called, it's by Crayola. It's called Mold Magic, and it makes molds. And I actually have a tutorial on my YouTube page if you want to check that out, a cheaper way to make your molds. And which is nice is that once you make the mold, I store them like this because they're an air dry clay, but I've had this for over a month and I've kept it in a Ziploc bag and it hasn't dried out. So it's still flexible, so I can still use it and it keeps its shape, and so it's nice. So let's say you want to make a whole bunch of something and you're not sure if it's something you want to keep permanently for a long time like you would with something like this. This will last you a long time. You can go ahead and make a mold out of this, and if it works out, then you can go ahead and make it out of this. And it's good practice. Let's say you're not very good at using the mold, this amazing mold putty yet, and you feel like you're going to waste it. You can use this stuff and you can crumple it back up. You can work with this for up to an hour. It stays flexible. It takes about 2 days for it to actually fully dry, but then after that it has that nice flexibility to it. And I store them in a plastic bag so that it stops them from continuing to dry, because I think if you keep them out for too long, with like in a month, this has been in a bag for a month, so it's fine. But if you kept it out, you know, just in the air like these for a month, they would probably crack and dry out. But if you keep them in a Ziploc, it keeps them longer. And it's nice to have because if you're looking for a cheap way. This stuff is for a whole bunch of, you actually get these 2 big bags plus 2 little ones for like $8, considering this one's this 20. And this one here you can put in the oven. This one you cannot put in the oven. So if you're experimenting, this is good. If you want something more permanent, this is the product you should go with. And when you do, like when I was first learning, I made a whole bunch of these. I mean, I went ahead and made tons of molds, and half of these I'm probably never even going to use because I was just experimenting. And if I had known about this, I would have probably used this. So this might actually be a little. No, it's not ready. But I'm glad I was able to show it to you. If you want to learn more about polymer clay, I have a tutorial on how to make, how to buy tools, and I also have the different types of polymer clay that you can use. Thank you for watching.